right, everyone. I wanted to do a quick weekend video here. Typically, I won't do weekend videos, but when I have time, I certainly will try to hop on here and give you just at least one video during the weekend. But wanted to come in here and talk a little bit about XRP and Bitcoin and just where we're sitting here as we get close to the weekly close. We're coming up here on the weekly close in about 33 minutes. And so just wanted to take a quick look at where we have bounced, both on the weekly, then as we come down on the daily, what kind of strength we're showing so far, and just give you kind of my initial thoughts as to where we're going from here. I do believe that we can start to say with a high degree of certainty that the bottom is in, granted, unless in the next 32 and a half minutes, we have some kind of major pullback here within the daily candle. But what I would love to see is a continued push here, and that we would close the daily price above 296, above the body open there. We do have a wick here on the daily candle from yesterday, but anything above 296 is going to be great. It's going to be a tweezer bar pattern, and that would be a very encouraging signal that the bottom is in. What I'm looking to probably have happen here, either before this daily close in 32 minutes or to start out the new daily tomorrow, we're going to come up here and test this $3 region. And what I'm guessing is we won't clear that immediately on the first try. We'll have a pullback there because that was a major support over the last several days, and then we gave that support up. Now, the market could surprise us, and we could blast straight through that $3 to $3.05 resistance, and we can come all the way up to, say, 318 to 320, and then have a pullback. So here's what's going to happen. We're either going to get a pullback here internally under $3 or under 303, 305, and we'll pull back to retest this 290 area, I would hope. That would kind of be my first idea, that we would come up here to about 303, 305, and then pull back to retest 390. Or we could just come straight through this entire resistance zone and come up to about 320, and then have a support resistance flip retest at around $3. So that's what I'm looking at here over the next 12, 24, 36 hours. The weekly closing here would be encouraging. We would show some buy side to the downside here and show that the bulls stepped in here to buy up the test around 275. As we come down to lower time frames, we bounced on the 6-hour 200 EMA at around 275, 278, and we've seen a good reaction so far. Obviously, we're not out of the woods completely yet. We have some resistance to get through at $3, so expect, a little bit of a pullback here on the intraday. But I do believe that we can start to say with a high degree of certainty that the bottom is in. And the reason for that is if you come down here to the 4-hour, let's go even to the 1-hour. That's going to be the better chart to show you. And you can see our final 5 waves move down here. So this was 1, this was 2, that was 1 down, that was 2 up, this was 3, and then you had your wave 4, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, within just a final extended fifth for a deviation to take out those stops that were at 274. And so we came down to about 273, and from there we've seen a very good reaction. Let me measure how much of a percentage move it's been here from about 273 up to where we currently sit. So about an 8% move off the bottom. I think some traders have thought earlier in the day we would roll over around 288. Then some thought we would roll over around 290, 292, but we just keep going. And I think it's clear to say at this point that I don't believe this is a larger wave 4 for a final wave 5 move down. I think we can say that the wave 5 is there on the move down for XRP. Again, Elliott Wave is not a pure science. It's more of a dance, more of an art. And certainly it's something that is open to interpretation. That's why you look at a confluence of a lot of other tools. If you come in here to the 30-minute, you can see the clear bullish divergence that was here on the 30-minute chart between the price on XRP over this time period. And then if you look, you can see that we had bullish divergence. So we had a higher high on the RSI, but a lower low on price. And you can see how that correlates. And so we had some pretty good bullish divergence in here. And now we've come all the way up. Obviously we're starting to get oversold on the 30-minute chart. And let's see, on the 1 hour, yep, we're also starting to get oversold on the 1 hour, but it doesn't mean that we can't come higher here and test this $3 region first. So that's what I'm looking for here, guys and ladies. And yeah, I think we're looking good. Let's go check out Bitcoin just real quick. See how it's looking. Actually, Bitcoin isn't looking as great as XRP is, in my opinion. But that's okay, because if you come over here to the XRP BTC pair, that's what's really got me encouraged. Because again, like on the 2-hour chart, probably even as high as the 4-hour. Yep. If you look on the XRP BTC pair chart, you can see the bullish divergence here. You can see lower lows on price on the 4-hour, but then you see the higher highs or the higher lows on the RSI. So looking good. We're also having a MACD cross here on the 4-hour. So 4-hour on the XRP BTC pair looks great. 4-hour on XRP USDT looks good. We don't really have the bullish divergence on the 4-hour there, but again, we do have it on the lower time frames, like on the hourly. We have it. It's a little bit flatter, maybe a little bit of a lower low, but not that terrible, almost flat. Yet the price was lower. So that's also that could also be argued as bullish divergence on the 1 hour, but certainly on the 30-minute we saw it. So yeah, all we need for an altcoin rally at this point is just for Bitcoin not to keep dumping. If Bitcoin just moved sideways here, didn't show dumping signals, and it'd be really good if Bitcoin could just get a final pop up here into the mid 1-teens, and then maybe cool off for a little bit and allow the alts to run. You do see that Bitcoin dominance is starting to roll over on the 30-minute. On the 4-hour, it's also starting to roll over. So this was probably the top for the little bounce rally on Bitcoin. It looks like we've had an ABC correction on its dominance. So here you go, A, B, and then just a slight higher high to take out that A wave. So I think we're going to get continuation on Bitcoin dominance lower, which means we're going to have some major breakouts on alts hopefully this week. So Bitcoin dominance, I think, will continue to come down here to about 58%. I think we'll see a little bit of support there just based on this chart history back here in early November and December. But I ultimately look for Bitcoin dominance to continue to fall through this 50 zone all the way to about 47 to 48%. So yeah, things are looking great. Again, I think we want to close this 4-hour above this 200 EMA on XRP at around $2.92 to $291.50. So let's hope we get a daily close here. We don't get a rejection in the next 25 minutes on XRP, but things are looking good. And, just from a larger macro perspective, let's go to the daily just one more time as we close up the video here. We didn't invalidate this as a wave 4, but I'm starting to think that this corrective wave that we've had since 366 and where we got the bottom here around 273, I'm starting to lean towards this was a wave 1. This was a wave 2 of a larger 1 wave. I just don't think that this makes sense as a wave 4. I had been giving you the count earlier, and again, this is just where Elliott Wave is. Sometimes you're giving your best guess here, guys. So, I was thinking that was a 1, this was a 2, this was 3, this is 4. I would have leaned more to this being a 4 if we had stayed up here above $3, but because we came that low, I think that was actually a wave 1 of a larger 1-2, 1-2 combo pattern here. So, and some would even argue this really wasn't an impulsive Elliott wave. This was another corrective wave, which I can see their arguments to that. So if this was wave 1, which again, we didn't come up here and catch the 1272 fib on wave 1, but not a big deal. You take what the market gives you. But if this was a wave 1, this was the wave 2 that we just put in, then you're looking at wave 3 between $7 and $8. We have a pullback, and then I do believe we could see a top around $11, $13 for wave 5. So that could also be the count that we're looking at. We just need to keep an open mind here as we start to go higher. Again, for me, the problem that I've had with some of the Elliott Wave count here is just this volume, right? Really looking at this volume and thinking, okay, does this make sense compared to this major volume back here? So is this wave 3 and this is wave 5? But maybe we've really yet to see the major volume kick in here for this ultimate, what could be an ultimate wave 3, and then ultimately a higher wave 5 into the $20 to $30 range. Those are all, areas where we just continue to speculate, and that's what makes a market. There's going to be people that watch this video and say, man, you keep changing your mind, sugar. That's just the reality of trading in markets. You have to be willing to flip your bias. I never would have thought that I would short this in here and, make $2,000 profit on a short because of just the overall macro. But I just saw a clear invalidation here within the intraday a couple of days ago, back on Thursday. So I took a short and I rode it all the way down, made about $2,000 in profit. And now obviously I closed that short and I've been building my long position here. So I still have an overall bullish bias on the market. And obviously, as we go into the new weekly and as we get started with the week tomorrow on Monday, we'll keep an eye on the charts and keep you updated. Sorry, this video was a little longer, but it is the weekly close. So I wanted to give you just what I'm seeing currently on the market, and hope that helps you. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.